I got started in teaching. I had a high school teacher that I was actually taking a technology class and helping other kids in that class. And he was like, you might want to consider teaching as a career. And I thought about it for about 15 years and then decided to become a teacher. And that's kind of how it all came about. Everywhere I'd ever worked before, I'd been a trainer, training people how to do wherever I worked, training them how to do their job. It's changed the way kids turn things in. They can submit things to me through Canvas or through Google Classroom or whatever we're using that day. I also use it, class website is used a lot. I generally, once it gets going, last year my website had about 20,000 hits a month. Kids downloading assignments, doing research, things like that. I use it a lot in class to research the people we talk about in U.S. history. Canvas, I prefer my website just because that's what I'm most comfortable with. Canvas is kind of new, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how it's going to work and how I'm going to integrate it into the classroom. Right now, I really like the quiz part of Canvas because I can just put it up there and the kids can take it and it grades it for me immediately, and the kids see their grade and I see their grade, and it's done. I was using Google Forms and it was a little bit more labor intensive to do it, but it's just a different way of doing it that seems to work a little bit better. I read a lot. I'm kind of a tech nerd. I also follow on Twitter. I follow several tech groups that I keep track of, and actually read y'all's stuff that you guys do. So last year when I taught Texas history, we actually spent an entire 6 weeks writing research papers. The kids had to pick a person or event during the American Civil War, and we spent the entire 6 weeks using Google Docs, so I could access what they were working on anytime I want, and I could sometimes edit in real time with them on their paper, and they could have other students look at their work to do peer evaluation and peer editing. They use that. They use their iPads. Sometimes when we do stations, they have to research a person or a place or an event, and they'll use their iPads for that. I'll give them a website to go. Sometimes I'll put a link on my website that they just click and it takes them right to it. Sometimes I want them to do the digging. We use it a lot for research. I have several kids that use it to take notes using Evernote, or a couple of kids use Google Docs to take notes. I use something called Farcebook, which is a fake Facebook that we used for important people in U.S. history. Robert E. Lee, obviously. Presidents, the founding fathers like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. We have pre-printed ones that we can use as examples, and we have ones that are a lot bigger that the kids can fill out with a wet erase or a dry erase, so they can do research on these people. And making up Facebook posts for famous people seems to really help the kids think about what they would be thinking about, because I generally have the kids at each table group, each of them has a different person, and they'll argue back and forth about, Lincoln wouldn't say that. Well, why not? It's like, well, they didn't have that yet, or something like that. Mail. Check the email. That's probably the first thing I do every day.